Very good evening, Ms. Jaslina. Our group will be presenting about Section 13(1)(b) of the Income Tax Act 1967. Our group consists of me, Tan Jehan, Lim Ziqi, Lim Li Wei, Melissa Tan Lili, and Woon Seok Eun. This is a list of content we'll be presenting today. Firstly, we'll introduce Section 13(1)(b) of the Income Tax Act. Next, we'll move on to look at the taxable criteria of car and petrol, furniture and appliances, other benefit in kind, and the exempted benefits. Now, I'll briefly introduce what is Section 13(1)(b) of the Income Tax Act 1967. So, Section 13(1)(b) of the Income Tax Act states the conditions to be taxed when a benefit is provided to an employee. So, under Section 13(1)(a), the thing that the employer gives to the employee is money. Hence, it is divisible. For example, if the employee receives 5,000 ringgit of salary, he can divide it to maybe 500 ringgit for his food expenses and maybe 1,000 ringgit to give to his child. So, Section 13(1)(b) here discusses about benefits received from the employer which are not divisible, like cars, furniture, appliances, etc. Like what the slide mentioned here, the benefit is not convertible into money even though it has monetary value. Thus, it cannot be sold or exchanged for cash because of the employment contract or the nature of the benefit itself. Next, I'll explain the first benefit that will be taxed under Section 13(1)(b) of the Income Tax Act 1967, which are cars and petrol. Public Ruling 11 in 2019 requires the formula method to compute the vehicle's value. However, concession is given to compute the value of the car and petrol using the prescribed method, and we will look into this method in particular. This method is calculated based on the cost of the car when it is new. The term "when new" here refers to the original cost of the car when it was brand new. Later, I'll show a table of the prescribed annual value of the car and petrol according to its cost when new with examples in the next slide. So, next, if the age of the cars exceeds 5 years, the prescribed value of the car and fuel will be reduced by half. About this, I will also explain further in detail in the next slide. Moving on, if the employer provides fuel without vehicle, then the expenses for the fuel will be fully taxable. Let's say the fuel expenses borne by the employer is 500 ringgit and the employer did not provide any vehicle to the employee. Then that 500 ringgit of fuel expenses is fully taxable. Moving on, if the employer provides a driver, the taxable benefit will be assessed at 600 ringgit per month. The actual salary of the driver is not relevant in ascertaining the taxable benefit of the employee. For example, if an employer provides a driver to an employee for 6 months, then the employee will be taxed for the driver for 6 months of a total of 3,600 ringgit. Even though if the driver's salary is 6,000 ringgit, the total taxable benefit will be 3,600 ringgit. The benefit of cars and petrol will be fully exempted if there are no private usage of the car provided by the employer. For example, John is provided by his employer a company car, but he is only allowed to use it during office hours and not allowed to drive it home. Hence, this car benefit will not be taxable and it is fully exempted as the benefit relates to the performance of his official duties. This is a table of the prescribed annual value of car and petrol according to its cost of the motor vehicle when it is new. So now, let's say an employer provides an employee a Honda Accord with fuel which costed 170,000 ringgit when new. Hence, the prescribed annual value of the car is 7,000 ringgit and the prescribed annual fuel value is 1,800 ringgit. The total taxable benefit is 8,800 ringgit. Let's move to another situation where the same person, John, is provided the same car with petrol for 6 months by the employer for the year 2023. Hence, the prescribed value will be calculated for 6 months, which are 3,500 ringgit and 900 ringgit for the vehicle and petrol respectively. As what I have previously mentioned, when the car exceeds 5 years, the prescribed value of the car and fuel will be reduced by half. So now, with the same situation, John is provided with the same car, the Honda Accord, for 7 years by his employer. Hence, the prescribed annual value is 3,500 ringgit and 1,800 ringgit for the vehicle and petrol respectively. It's important to take note here that this rule only applies to the vehicle and not the petrol. That's all from me. Now I'll pass the floor to Tzu Chi.
Okay, thank you, Jehan. Now we'll continue to section 13.1b benefit in kind on furniture and appliances provided by employers to employees as part of their accommodation. It is essential to understand the implication and values associated with this, and it has a direct impact on an employee's gross income. In many cases, employers provide their employees with accommodations that includes various level of furnishing. This furnishing can range into 3 groups. First, semi-furnished, which items in the lounge, dining room, or bedroom. This type of semi-furnished has a taxable value of Rm 840 annually or Rm 70 per month. Second, semi-furnished with furniture as above and include additional items like air conditioner, curtains, and carpets. The annual value increased to Rm 1,680 or Rm 140 per month. Third, fully furnished, which include additional benefits like kitchen equipments, cookery, utensil, and appliance. The annual taxable value is Rm 3,360 or Rm 280 per month. To further explain this, let's consider an example. Hamka is a director at Company A Sendirian Berhad. Is provided with a fully furnished accommodation. The rental for this accommodation is Rm 8,500 per month, out of which Rm 2,800 is allocated to the furniture. According to the BIK guideline, Hamka gross income under Section 13.1b is calculated based on the fully furnished rate of Rm 3,360. Conclusion, the taxation of household furnishings and appliances provided by employers is an important part of financial planning for both employers and employees. It is necessary to be aware of this guideline and value to ensure compliance with tax regulation and to make informed financial decisions. Thank you. Next, I will pass to Shu-En.
Thank you, Tzu Chi. Now I'm going to continue with the other benefits in kind. So firstly is the mobile telephone. The rental and charges is taxable 600 per annum. Next is the gardeners. Gardeners are employees who are responsible to take care of the gardens or ground of a home, business concern, or other property. The value of benefit in kind is 300 per month, while it is 3,600 per annum. Furthermore is the domestic servants. Domestic servants are workers who are assigned with the tasks such as cleaning the house, cooking, washing and ironing clothes, taking care of children or elderly, guarding the house, and even taking care of household pets. The value of benefit in kind is 400 per month, while it is 4,800 per annum. Furthermore is subsidized loan or interest, which is below the market value rate. Subsidized loan interest is paid partially by the employer. For instance, when employees take a car, housing, or education loan either from employer or third party, and the interest cost is subsidized by employer, the interest benefit from such loan will be fully exempted from tax provided if the total amount of loan taken does not exceed 300,000 ringgit. If it is more than 300,000 ringgit, only partially will be exempted. Furthermore is insurance premium. The value of benefit in kind taxable is the annual insurance premium paid by the employer. Next is school or tuition fees. The actual school or tuition fees paid by employer is also included in the annual value of benefit in kind. Last but not least is the corporate membership in recreation clubs. The monthly or annual membership fees is taxable when it is paid by employer. Okay, thank you. That's all from me. And next, I will pass it to Lin Wei.
Thank you, Shoen. Now I'm going to talk about exempted benefit. In the Income Tax Act of 1967, exemption benefit refers to specific condition or situation where certain types of income individuals or organizations are exempt from paying income tax or are subject to reduced tax liability. Therefore, these exemptions are typically provided to achieve specific policies, objectives, or to encourage particular economic activities. Here are several exemption benefits that Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri Malaysia (LHDN) provided. First and foremost, medical or dental treatment is one of the exempted benefits. It is because medical and dental treatment can be expensive, and these expenses can place a significant financial burden on individuals and families. By providing exemption or deduction, the government aims to alleviate some of the financial stress associated with healthcare costs. This encourages people to seek necessary medical and dental care without the fear of incurring additional tax liability. Therefore, benefit for childcare. A childcare center provided by employers to their employees' children. This is because childcare expenses can be significant financial burden for working parents. To provide the exemption or deduction for childcare-related expenses, the government helps reduce the financial strain on families to make it more affordable for parents to access quality childcare services. Furthermore, food and drink provided free of charge also one of the exemption benefits. Food and drink are provided free of charge because many employers provide meals and drinks to their employees as part of their employee welfare programs. Thus, offering free meals can be a way to attract and retain talent, enhance employee satisfaction, and improve morale. This benefit can also contribute to a positive work environment. In the same point, productivity and convenience by providing free food and beverage can save employees time and effort. Thus, this ensures that they have access to nourishing meals during work hours, reducing the need for employees to leave the workplace to obtain meals. This can enhance productivity by minimizing disruption and improving workflow. Additionally, free transportation between pick-up points or home and the place of work, which means to and from. This can make employment more attractive and helps employers retain their workforce. However, it can be especially appealing for employees who face commuting challenges, such as those living far from their workplace. In the same point, commuting can be costly, and free transportation eases the financial burden on employees. It reduces their expenses related to food, public transportation, parking, and maintenance of personal vehicles, contributing their overall financial well-being. It ensures that employees arrive at work on time. Next is insurance premium, which are obligatory for foreign workers as a replacement to SOCSO contribution. It is because the requirement for employees to provide insurance coverage for foreign workers as an alternative to SOCSO contribution ensures compliance with labor laws. It helps safeguard the rights and well-being of foreign workers in Malaysia and ensure they have access to essential protection. In the same point, insurance coverage offers financial protection to foreign workers in the event of accident, injuries, or other work-related incidents. It can help cover medical expenses, disability benefits, and other forms of support, which is essential for the welfare of foreign workers and their families. Additionally, group insurance premium to cover workers in the event of an accident. It is because group insurance coverage provides protection and financial security to workers and their family in the event of accident or injuries. It ensures that employees have access to benefits such as medical coverage, disability benefits, and sometimes even death benefits. However, promotion of safety refers to employers are incentivized to provide a safe working environment and implement safety measures to minimize accident and injuries. Knowing that they are responsible for insurance premium in case of accident, employers are encouraged to maintain safe workplace. Now I'm going to pass it to my groupmate, Melissa.
Thank you, Ling Wei. Benefit also consists of leave passage. Leave passage within Malaysia are not allowed that more than 3 times in a calendar year, while leave passage outside Malaysia are not allowed more than 1 time and limited to 3,000 in a calendar year. Furthermore, benefit used by the employee solely in connection with the performance of his duties is able to exempt. For example, employee purchase business products from employer at discounted price limit to 1,000 ringgit, while business services at discounted price can be exempt fully. Last but not least, monthly bills for fixed line telephone, mobile phone, pager, personal digital assistant, and subscription of broadband are able to exempt. The annual value of it, Sok Eun already have explained it. That's all me and my groupmate going to share. Thank you, Ms. Shaz, and have a great day.